Batman?
I used to think I'd dress like a bat to instill fear, but recently I've come to realize I just crave attention.
These videos are not for children. If you're a children, then piss off.
Hey there, it's me, your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso. And recently, I spoke about Batman's first outing on the big screen. Of course, referring to Batman 66 as Batman the movie. Well, today, I'm here to talk about one of the other movies in that continuity's lineup. And yes, there is more than one. The late-in-life animated movie, Return of the Caped Crusader. A movie that not only saw the return of the Caped Crusader Adam West, but grown boy wonder Burt Ward and OG Catwoman Jule Newmar. Seeing as a fair portion of the original Batman 66 actors had sadly passed away, they were replaced by pretty authentic sound-alikes, and actors that I myself have nothing but love for. With Lynn Marie Stewart, or if you're an Always Sunny fan, Charlie's mother taking over the role of Aunt Harriet. Wally Wingert stepping in for Frank Gorshin as the Riddler, Thomas Lennon bringing his hilariously goofy energy to the role of Chief O'Hara, Jim Ward, or as I know him, Chet You Betcha, filling in for Commissioner Gordon, and Steven Weber becoming this movie's Alfred. That's just to name a few. And all of them are very well cast, with no one really feeling out of place. Each one is almost a dead ringer for the person they're portraying. Also helping matters is that almost all of the characters are drawn to bear a resemblance to the actors who originally portrayed them. With some exceptions. Commissioner Gordon here is looking a lot more like his comic book counterpart, as opposed to Neil Hamilton, who played him in the series. He's even looking a little bit similar to Alan Napier, who previously played Alfred on the series, with the actual Alfred in this movie looking a bit less like his small screen adaptation. I can only imagine that this is due to licensing issues with the actors' estates. Maybe they didn't have permission to use their likeness, but it is noticeable when you're familiar with the series. Regardless, I still hold this movie in the same regards that I hold the show and movie that spawned this. It's very true to the spirit of its predecessor. Not a lot of brains behind what the audience is seeing, but an excess of heart. The movie is an absolute love letter to the original series. There's so much love and care that clearly went into this movie. There's so many references and throwaway lines and cameos to the wider continuity. The intro shows the dynamic duo taking on a gaggle of goons from the series' original run, showing off the forgettable and unforgettable villains of 66's Batman's Rogues Gallery. And don't quote me, but I also believe that Miranda Monroe, in addition to being an obvious in-world replacement of Marilyn, is named what she's named due to the song that Bruce sings, which is titled Miranda. At one point, the Caped Crusader gets knocked in the head, and in his delusional state, briefly sees 3 Catwomen, each one resembling one of the 3 women who played the feline femme fatale, which I think is one of my favorite Batman gags in anything Batman related ever. The love doesn't stop at the 60s show either. They also show a fair amount of appreciation for other Batman continuities as well. The opening credits show a vast variant of classic Batman comic book covers. Evil Batman literally takes lines from other beloved Batman from other beloved Batman canons, quoting both Batman 1989 and The Dark Knight Returns.
Come on! Let's get nuts. It's an operating table.
Not the face, Batman!
I'm the surgeon.
The Batcave is shown to have a lineup of famous Batsuits not worn within the show. Catwoman even makes a cheeky reference to The Dark Knight Rises.
We run away to Europe together, sip tea in a cafe, and live happily ever after.
Wholly unsatisfying ending.
The Riddler even uses an exact riddle that the character used in Gotham. I would assume that that also came from a comic, but I can't confirm that, so don't take my word for that. Then there's also Batman taking on the mannerisms of other Batman, including, but not limited to, him suddenly disappearing, to which his colleagues note how unlike him that is. These references aren't all that subtle, but then again, subtlety wasn't really the name of the game in the original series. That kinda wasn't Adam West Batman style. I love the nods and references this movie offers up. The show is always a comedic take on the campiness of the characters, but it also, in addition to the regular zany offerings the 66 series brought, this movie likes to take it a step further. It feels like that much more of a cartoon, because this time around, it is an actual cartoon. It almost makes me wonder how no one thought of doing this before.
They did.
Greetings, Bat fans. This is Batman. And Robin, the Boy Wonder.
And me too, Bat Mite. Is that a poop rat? Is that a poop rat?
The movie sees Batman's antagonistic arch-enemies reunite once more, just as they did in the first movie. Though ironically, in the original movie, while Catwoman was the only character of the bunch to be recast, this time around, Catwoman is the only returning actor to the role. Their united union of unfortunate events for those they come across are up to their nefarious schemes that seem to get immediately thwarted by the dynamic duo. Or are they? Catwoman drugs Batman with a little catnip, of course, which progressively makes him become more evil with time. Unfortunately for her, after she's fulfilled her usage, the rest of the team cuts her out of their wicked plans and launches her into space. The golden-hearted, not-so-dark knight goes from making snide comments at those closest to him to firing all those in his employ. From Alfred to Robin, and then to take matters even further, he goes on to fire the commissioner and the chief of police, as well as everybody else in Gotham City, as Batman has now used a replica ray so that his rogue selves can rule the city. This causes a very unlikely alliance between Robin and Catwoman, who then have to break out and recruit all of the criminals Batman's put behind bars. And what ensues has to be the highlight of the movie. A big battle scene that throws in reference after reference. The penitentiary's past collides with the protagonist here in the present. Though the manpower doesn't seem to be enough, because just as he did solo before, this army of Batmen easily defeats the enemies that he's previously put behind bars. Ultimately, it's not the villains who save the day, nor Catwoman or Robin, but in fact Alfred, offering up an antidote. Not kidding. This manages to heal Batman and bring him back to his old ways. Upon his return, he realizes that the whole scheme has been just that. A complete ruse set up by Penguin, Riddler, and Joker so that they can go on a shopping spree sans payment. Batman, Robin, and Catwoman once again team up, and of course put a stop to them. Once again, pretty much with ease. After the battle is finally over and the good guys have won, Catwoman unsurprisingly betrays her new team because she's Catwoman. And double-crossing is kind of her thing. But her plans are foiled by the attitude of the altitude. Not looking to go back to prison, she jumps to what would otherwise be considered her death, but considering this series, it's really just her latest escape. The credits roll, and we get to see some of our favorite characters from the show bust a move. Because once again, this is Batman 66. I really like this movie, and if you like the seasons of the show or the movie that it spun off, I think you will too. This is some harmless, goofy fun with the characters. And I personally think in terms of funny Batman movies, this should be at the top of that list. Maybe not the tip top, but like somewhere in the top 5. It's a celebration of the original series that bleeds into other versions of the character as well. I'm really glad we got the remaining cast back together for this one. And I'm glad that we got them back together once more after this for Batman vs. Two-Face. So if you like this video and want to see me review its follow-up, let me know in the comment section below by leaving a comment saying
Bagara.
With all that being said, I was your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso, and I thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
And if you're not joining the fun, you're in for one bad day. And you know what they say about having one bad day?
Catch him next time. Same bat time. Same bat channel.